and the Google Cast Iron Academy. You can see their beautiful logo there. All their best minds at work. Finals begin now. A month has led up to this. Dozens of people, passionate individuals, and now we watch their work. Why did I let them pick orange and red? A great start. In the top right, coached by Touring, now Diamond, from the great state of, I'm gonna go ahead and assume, California. The Zerg player, Stagadish. Stagadish? Stagadish sounds better, I think. I hope that's not insulting, but we will see. And in the bottom left, coached by Alkin, playing Protoss. Does he know about Glaives? Bobalicious. Best of 3, starting out on Eternal Empire. The map Zest was too afraid to play last night as a Protoss in GSL, but Bobalicious has no fear. And remember, while these players, by definition, in this tournament are not the best players in the world yet, and their coaches not the best players in the world, the real question I want to ask is, were they angry enough? Because I know you have all this modern stuff about positive reinforcement, just making like a good result and working off of that, but I'm a strong believer in negative reinforcement as well. What methods were used by these coaches in order to determine how to help their players improve? They've gotten this far. Did their coaches teach them some dirty Jesus? Or did they teach them a more fleshed out macro play? And how much of that, when under the spotlight right now, will flee their minds as they default to whatever state they were a month ago? We will see. We'll have to get some insight from the coaches or the players themselves afterwards. But I'm sure, at the very least, they want to show good games for the fans. Very close to a wall here. My Bobalicious. On the other side, a 3-hatch with speed. A robotics facility, a nice safe start. I like it. Now, while there may be no physical prize, as we all know, these are actually just smaller iterations of Alphastar, the real prize is hearts and minds. Whatever player, no matter who wins or who loses, comes out today as the most inspired, the most tenacious, the most heroic. That is, I think, who wins the tournament, even if they might not actually win the games. We will see. A Warp Prism to kick things off. A little bit of pressure. Okay. As Stagadish, he's got the queens. Just building up. So far, nothing. No cheese. We're on Eternal Empire. This is the part where if we were watching Cyril versus Trap, I would say, well, this is the macro map where you usually see longer games, more drawn out, 4 or 5 bases, sometimes even 30-plus minute games. I didn't know what I was expecting. But these players playing for the longer match. It looks like it's going to be a 4-gate robo pressure on Bob. Can I call him Bob? I'm going to call him Bob. Let's start going for the lair. A Roach Horn, an Evolution Chamber. We're just skipping to the macro game, it looks like. There is a Prism, yes. Where did that Prism go? Where are you, Mr. Prism? Okay. Watching over the Protoss. Stalwart. Ready for action when called upon. Meanwhile, Staga still just building up his drone count. Layer's nearly done. +1 ranged attack on the way. A handful of Zerglings will spot the Stalker, but there's not much else to see right now. There are the Sentry will complete. Is he gonna do the force field at the top of the ramp? It looks like it. He's adding some more gateways on. There are Immortals. It could just be a straight-up Immortal push. In fact, it looks like it's building up to be an Immortal push. On the other side, Stagadish starting to realize there's no third base yet. That means an attack is likely brewing. Has he seen the Prism? An Overseer on the way. Trying to figure out what exactly he's dealing with here. 4 more gateways being added on. Plenty of Roaches already out. The Overseer is going to get some intimate knowledge here. Well, unfortunately, just a little too late. A probe kills the Changeling. The Warp Prism. Oh, forgotten. But the Overseer sees it. A Hydralisk Dun is on the way. Ravagers being built to break the force fields. That's actually quite a strong attack coming out right now. It really does come down to the force field placement. 26 Zerglings to try to close the distance. There's a probe at the third as well. Bobalicious not putting all his proverbial eggs in this force field flavored basket. Some more Zealots to tank in front. 3 Immortals, a whole bunch of Sentries, a lot of energy up against Stagadish. Third base, just units here. Plenty of creep. Corrosive Bile thrown up, knocks down a couple Sentries. Backs off behind the force field, but a couple Ravagers and Roaches are trapped. So far, so good for the Protoss player. A bunch of Zerglings. Oh, but the force field is broken. The Zerglings get through. The Roaches and Ravagers are struggling, but Bobalicious with a strongly executed timing. Looking good so far. More Corrosive Biles. Out of energy. Guardian Shield helpful. He's starting to run out of units. 10 more Roaches in production, but they're not going to be delivered quite yet. More coming up. Some more Zealots being warped in. A brute force attack, but effective. Are the Roaches going to be enough? He's got speed. He's got +1. He's got Queens behind this. No more Guardian Shield. That's a little bit of an ambitious creep tumor. More Corrosive Bile. A little overlap in the hotkeys there. But Immortals are pretty good units, as I may have mentioned in the past. Corrosive Bile thrown up, forces the Micro back. But without any Zerglings in front, he's building them now. Stagadish starting to crumble. Still, 3 Immortals. Backs off the Corrosive Bile at the last second. All the Immortals starting to be focused down. 1 goes down, but there are plenty of Stalkers. Bobalicious. Decisive. Stagadish pushed back to the natural. And without enough larvae, the Queens were pulled. It's looking like a pretty concise conclusion to Game 1. Oh, no! Oh! Stagadish decides he wants to end his own suffering and does so as dramatically as possible. Game 1 to Bobalicious. A strong 2-base timing. He put his pieces together. It wasn't the cleanest, but it got the job done. Parting would be proud. Alright, match 2 is on, let's see, Everdream, Deathwire. These guys vetoing all the exciting maps so we can get some good, clean, boring fun, just like Google itself. Alright. Everdream is the choice. Getting it loaded up, getting everybody. Yes, I meant just the search engine page. But I didn't really flesh out that joke, just like Stagadish didn't flesh out his unit count. We will be having possibly the highlight event, but there will be a 4v4 Monobattle before the finals, including 8 of the coaches, mostly Masters players. So, if nothing else, look forward to that. Fun day Saturday.
New subscriber detected.
Alright, just looking for Bobalicious. You gotta play more than one game, Bob. You gotta win another one. Whoever loses this goes down to the losers bracket and will be facing against Ariok. And this is your chance, Ariok, to tell me that I'm butchering it. Ariok, by the way, if you watch this video on YouTube, Ariok works in YouTube search, and if you don't see this video, you'll never hear me criticizing Ariok for making it so you don't see this video. But we'll get to that. He has full, total, authoritative control over everything. I can just assume that. That's how it works. It's like when you yell at the guy at Pizza Hut, "Why are your pizzas $7.99 instead of $6.99?" It's like, "Sir, you ordered pineapple as a side. It's $1." It's like, that's ridiculous. I would never. Game 2. Let's hope for something a little more full-bodied. We're just going to use wine terms, but there are no Terrans, so I'm not sure how I'm going to accomplish that. Stag a dish, bottom left, Bobalicious with a strong timing, and he was ready to go to a third. He was ready. Stag a dish whips out the GLHF. How will Bobalicious respond with the U2, a classic diamond move? Just to be a little critical. Now, just out of nowhere, I want to see the "How are you?" or confusingly, considering that both these players, of course, know each other. "Where from?" Yeah, throw that in there. Like, everything's on the table. There are no rules at all. No rules.
Eric, thanks for organizing.
Thank you, Eric. You are my favorite Eric I have met today. You're in my top 10 Erics. Okay. At least spelled like that. Thank you, Eric, and all Erics, for your efforts worldwide. We are in your debt. Only if we use Google Pay. Still no cheese. Is that a thing? Is Google... I'm pretty sure... I might be mixing something up. Yes, it's a thing. Okay. Well. Don't worry. Google it. I like this. This is another take on the scouting the natural for Zerg, like the Zergling count coming out, but also maybe the third. No, don't, no. This, no. A nice, boring macro game so far. Probe. Watching. Waiting. Give him the spray. Give him the spray! Okay. Zergling's popping out. Chasing down the Probstaga. Neither of these players is knocked out. But they will have to win a match against... Oh my god. The Zergling mating dance is seen as a frenetic, oh my god. Just don't look too close. Oh my, oh Jesus. Oh. I can't stop watching. But why do they change direction sometimes? I don't get it. Are we allowed to show this? I don't. Do you have safe? Only if you have safe search on. Everybody turn safe search on and come back to the video. Oh, queens are getting in on it. Oh, everybody's involved. Oh, oh no! That's a non-consensual shade. As most are. Well, as is well known. We're just gonna take this time. Unrelated. Obviously, Bobalicious inspired. Six roaches on the way. This is almost certainly an all-in. I think Bob has figured this out. He's already gotten Immortal done. He has multiple shield batteries on the way. He's figured it out. I was too busy watching whatever those Zerglings were doing to each other to really realize how much intel Bob had gained. But there's one obvious, optimistic recall. 3 shield batteries, but Artosis echoes in the distance.
Who does that?
A single pylon powering 2 gateways and 3 shield batteries could spell disaster. Nope, don't actually spell disaster. There are force fields. Any battery overcharge. He's pulling a couple probes, trying to get through. Only the single pylon. Beautiful force field. Holds his ground for now. It looks like Stagadish has given up on these efforts. Not going to go for the Ravager break. And he's down 13 workers. This is, just did not end up working out. Once again, Bobalicious went for the Robo. He built Immortals. He went with the same style. Stagadish took his shot, but Bob deflects it with relatively minimal effort. And now a diligent scout with a hallucinated Phoenix will spot the lair on the way. There is a third hatch behind this. That's not the end of the world yet. Sega has been making a whole lot of... And there's a lot of roaches and lings out already. Does anyone else smell that? Smells like mudas. Until he then built... Okay, well... For a second, I thought it did. But close, easily confused with the scent of Ravagers, I guess. As he decides... Well, here comes the attack. A bunch of Ravagers definitely going to serve him a lot better than mutas. Even a probe to encourage all these units to victory. 3 Immortals, a bunch of sentries. Zealots warped in, Warp Prism intact. And right now, deja vu. Different map, same build, same situation. Warp Prism follows up behind. Staga's building he didn't have an Overlord in position. He didn't see this coming. And now, bad things seem like they're about to happen. Bobalicious comes across with a vengeance. He's gonna... Third hatchery is down. There's no saving it. The Broodlings will help out temporarily. Corrosive Biles land on a couple Zealots, but Bobalicious I don't think is gonna stop here. He's not gonna stop now. He will rule this bracket or see it burnt to ashes before him. Or at least slice it up into bite-sized force field pieces. Another great set of force fields. There's a lot of Zealots in front. They might not be able to close the distance. But they do close the series. And in just 15 minutes, Bobalicious, coached by, I want to make sure I got it right, Turing. Nope, that was Staga. Sorry, Turing. I apologize. I had one job. Alkin has obviously taught him well. Your very first Cast Iron Academy finalist, Bobalicious. This will be updated. But now, the elimination. Now we figure out who's going home, or who's staying home, but with less pride. We will see. Versus Ariok, who is, I believe he is a platinum, Zerg player. I've made my feelings of platinum Zerg players known in the past. I am hopeful to have my expectations subverted. So while we get our map vetoes done, I'd like to do a quick advertisement. I will be right back. If you guys can pause ad block, that'd be awesome. Thank you guys for watching. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Winter, and welcome to the Google Cast Iron Academy. If right now you're watching this on YouTube, say, thanks, Google. Don't worry, they'll hear you. But also, like and subscribe, so that way Ariok and his cabal of people who have yet to get me 1 million subscribers, we're almost there, can finally make the difference. Now, while they're doing their map vetoes here, I'd like to give a shout out, once again, to Gielgati for organizing this tournament. I'm sure there's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, at least 2 out of 3, maybe other fluids, we're not sure. But it is actually, and it does kind of remind me of the After Hours Gaming League, hosted by our formerly passionate Icon Day 9. And I was excited to hear about this, as cynical as I am, and you might think that StarCraft, like, there are people around you that might not be into StarCraft, but there's a pretty good chance, assuming you work somewhere that has a reliable internet connection, they very well might be. So maybe reach out today, talk with some friends, acquaintances, colleagues, however you describe them in the signature part of an email, but check it out today. Thank you. Good night. Thank you guys for sticking around. Hopefully that was not unskippable. I usually turn off the unskippable ones, but I don't know. Sometimes they get through. Did they actually do their map vetoes? Alright. This is also a best of 3. Thank you guys for the support as well. Looks like they're vetoing all the the exciting maps again. Sega vetoes Submarine. Ariok vetoes Golden Wall and Pillars of Gold. Stargadish vetoes Ice and Chrome, which means we're left with the exact same maps of the last series, Eternal Empire, Everdream, and Death Aura. And if none of these things mean anything to you, thank you for watching StarCraft, because we both know you're not playing it. The first map will be Eternal Empire. Your Twitch Prime ads are better? I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of this. Make sure to click the join button on YouTube, and I think I get more money. I've never actually done that. It's there. I do get more money, I think. I don't know what it does. Ariok was coached by Biosif. Oh yeah, apparently the players are consulting with their coaches in between the games as well. I mean, once again, this is mostly to encourage people to play Starcraft. And, well, Starcraft can be intimidating. And if you feel like you haven't really been able to find any resources, if you feel like you kind of just weren't interested in the game, I call it MSG. And you haven't really found a community that has encouraged you to play more or find improvement, well, that's still Ariok's fault because of the YouTube search. Somehow, it comes back around. So go ahead. I don't have a join button? Oh. I must have seen that on other channels. Well. I think that's for stream. Anyways. Obviously, I am a professional, and that's why we're here now. All right. Losers bracket finals. Losers is a little bit of a misnomer. They're all winners in my book because they decided to commit and compete and get this far in the tournament. But there will be a loser. One of these players is out. They're done. They're eliminated. So, never mind. I rescind my original point. Who will be the best loser in this match? Let me introduce you. One half of the Zergs here. In the top right. Not quite able to handle the Protoss timings of Bobalicious. But can he fight his way back to face him again? In the top right. In the blue. Stagadish. And in the bottom left, the Zerg player as well, Ariok. He didn't correct me, so I'm assuming I'm saying it correctly. Let me try it. Okay, wait. Ariok. What is Ariok?
Participated in the Battle of the Vale of Siddim.
Okay. What is Ariok?
According to Wikipedia, Ariok appears in the Book of Genesis as the name of the King of Elisar, who participated in the Battle of the Vale of Siddim.
Good to know. That's what Google says. None of those words really meant anything to me. No early pulls. A macro game, if you would. I'm excited and concerned to see if these players go for Ling Baneling openers. I'm not sure which one more so. Four Zerglings per side so far. Now, one of the hardest parts of ZVZ is remembering to not lose your first Overlord to Queens. So far, neither player moving too far in. Baneling Nest on the way for Ariok. Nothing yet for Stagadish, despite the fact he does have the gas. We will see if he follows it up. A third base on the way. Zerglings sneaking in. A little bit of a select army usage there from Ariok. He's building his third hatch. A Zergling slips into the main, spots the Baneling Nest. Will it inspire a Baneling Nest from him? A Roach Warren. And an Evolution Chamber, and another Evolution Chamber. That's how you become a professional caster, guys. There you go. 4 more Zerglings on the way. 8 more drones for Stagadish. Metabolic boost finishing up for both sides. Couple Banelings for Ariok. But he's kind of preemptively going for the Banes. He's about to learn a Queen is holding the wall. A Queen, not necessarily enough to stop this attack from happening. No matter how Brenda's best efforts, the Zerglings get in. Here come a couple Banelings to make things weird. He attacks his own Evolution Chamber. Betrayal from within. The Baneling connects with the drones. He's going. The struggle. The Spine Crawler goes down. And at the end of the day, 3 drones fall. Ariok says, well, that went well enough. 22 more Zerglings. And a Roach Warren. It's about even on workers. That did actually even out the worker count. Not to be overstated. But the third hatchery provides a whole lot of larvae here. And really at this stage of ZVZ, oh, well, both sides are making some... Oh, this is going to get weird. As the Zerglings are speeding past, it looks like the Overlord spotted it. Ariok will move to intercept. A handful of Zerglings here. Stagadish might be able to engage. He's chasing. The Zerglings on the run. As they struggle across the map. Roach is on the way for both sides. Oh, he tries to slip in. A quick veer off to the right. Loses a Zergling or 2, I think. I'm not actually sure. Splits off a couple lings. Tries to sneak by. Is successful thus far. A hectic early game. Ariok, though. Oh, the Queen. Let us in. Let us in. But not them. Not them. No, we don't like your kind around here, Red Zergling. Oh, that got pretty cost ineffective for a second. The units lost so far. 17 Zerglings for Ariok. And 15 and change here. Well, those numbers are going to change very quickly. The Roaches do pop out. There should be enough to deal with this, even without the +1 finishing up. And it looks like at this stage of the match, both sides are going to have to go back to their corners and spend a little time figuring out what to do next. A lair is done for the Red Zerg. No lair as of yet for Stagadish, though he has gone for the 1-1 upgrades. Not a single upgrade besides the lair itself for Ariok. So, positive points for both sides. No decisive engagements yet. The worker count's dead even. I would put a slight advantage to Ariok here, having the lair done, as that does give you a lot of options, as well as the third hatchery, of course, which is one of the bigger things in ZVZ. Another hatchery on the way. Stagadish realizing that he may have banked up a little bit of extra money while microing those Zerglings. The Queen will hold the door. Looks like we're all going to have to calm down for a second. I don't know how many seconds, but it appears Ariok has locked into macro mode. 11 more drones on the way. That's going to put us over that coveted mark we have yet to see today of 50 workers. +1 attack. Roach, speed. Lair halfway done for Stagadish. The only lair tech so far is that roach speed starting up for Ariok. That worker lead is quite significant now, and he's had the third hatchery up as well, which means his mining has been better throughout this, and now you really see that coming to fruition. Zergling slipping in towards the third. Might get even... That drone is feeling very insecure right now, but it has a lot of friends to give it a good support system. Everybody gonna be sitting back. It may come down... Ariok building a whole lot of roaches, whereas Stagadish investing in more long-term upgrades. He's got +2 on the way. Roach speed has begun. 60 workers now. But Ariok... I love it. A Nidus network. And as long as he doesn't have any network connectivity issues, putting the Nidus, it doesn't even have to be in the main. It doesn't have to be sneaky. It's essentially warp gate for unlimited units. Even the things Protoss does, Zerg does better. Am I right, Protoss and Terran players? This is a very sneaky move out of Ariok here. He's just kind of chilling. So, Stagadish is going for everything but more units so far. Whereas Ariok is putting most of his effort into one big roach strike. If he attacks in a timely manner, Ariok will have a significant supply. Like, what's the unit count right now? 41 roaches to 20. I'm not a mathematician, but let me Google it. Yes, 41 is bigger than 20 by a significant margin. The Nidus in the main. Staga technically sees it. Ah! He's going back to deal with it. It's almost finished. Will there be enough to stop this in time? He can pop the roaches out, but doesn't matter. No. He's not going to get it. Nidus shut down. And that's a big deal for the player who's investing in more long-term upgrades. He needs time. And here's the thing, though, is most of the units were just chilling in the bottom right corner. Overlords are all over the place right now. A whole lot of Ravagers are out on the map. The Overlords may have vision, but the mini-map is a premium DLC, and I'm not sure that they had enough money in their Google Pay accounts for it. A whole lot of Zerglings. Unfortunately, the Ravagers, the most valuable units, get shut down first, attacking up the ramp. Ariok caught between a rock and a hard place. Oh, the corrosive bile slamming it. He's coming back up the ramp. It looks like he's going to make it this time. 2-2 is done at the best possible moment. Ariok has found the narrow path to defeat in this fight. But at the same time, Roach is popping out on the other side. The third base is under attack. The units can flip back towards that side. He's going for the hatchery itself. He's going for the throne. But unfortunately, these units, they got in, but they're not going to get out. He doesn't know what he wants. He gets the hatch, but at what cost? There is, by the way, another hatchery as well. So while Ariok does find his objective at the end of the day, he does lose approximately 48 more roaches than his opponent, which is, yeah, that's more. Now, there aren't that many units. Not all of the units are here, but I don't know. I don't think Ariok has enough to deal with this. It's looking, well, he's going to micro, but at the end of the day, more stuff counters less. And Ariok seems to have driven himself up a ramp and off a cliff. Stagadish should be just one game away from a rematch in the grand finals against Bobalicious. GG. Map 2 will be Deathera. The last chance here for Ariok. So, and in the chat afterwards, GGWP and GG, so polite. This isn't a corporate email. Let them have it. Or a Google Hangout, as they're called, I think. This is war. The map is loaded. It's Google Meets now. Yes, Google Meets. But what about Google Vegetables? Will anybody think of that? Alright, ready to go. The Cast Iron Academy. Cooking up a fun match. But now we will be eliminating our second to last player of the tournament. Winning game 1 with a macro focus, even if his vision did stray at times. Staga Dish. Staga Dish? Is that a semicolon? Ariok. He's got punctuation, even if his attacks aren't punctual. Whipping that one out there like a Nidus network in a mediocre location. The semicolon rarely seen used correctly. It's all on the line. A lot of pressure. Think of the emojis. Think of the pride. Or the opposite. Wait, what is the opposite of pride? Shame. Shame! We got there. Wait. Antonyms for pride.
Here are some antonyms for pride: shame, modesty, humility.
Shame! I was right. Shame to lose here. Unfortunately, no drone rushes, no spine crawlers. I guess I'm gonna stare at the Overlord. This is gonna be my casting. Look at this Overlord, though. Did you know a flying barracks moves faster than a flying Overlord without speed? Well, you know what this means. Barracks speed upgrade. Blizzard? Let's do it. Yes, I know everybody was thinking that, so I just put it as a elephant/building in the room. Rapid reignition thrusters now applies to buildings. The Zerglings, that's quite a scouting pattern. This is how I assume. This is the process that Google uses in order to get people to find my videos. If you're able to navigate that maze, you might actually find something. Like and subscribe. Mainling dust for both sides. Third base for Stagadish. It appears he's found his footing here. Everything on point. Ariok spreading the creep. A lot of people debate creep spread in ZVZ. Overall in ZVZ, while the focus probably shouldn't be on creep spread as much as the other matchups, there's no reason not to creep spread early on. The only scenario in which you should maybe actively limit your creep spread is if you're going Mutiling Bane against someone who's only going for, like, Hydras. But even then, it provides vision. It's usually on your side of the map, even though creep does not discriminate. If the creeps touch, is it your creep or is it my creep? It's our creep, comrade. But creep spread, not a bad thing. But Ariok is doing a Baneling. I'm going to call it a designated pressure. He's got some Banelings. He's got some Lings. He's got Lings and Banelings. That's all I can say. There is a queen. I don't believe that's the right spot, though. Milady. Oh, the Baneling. And, oh no, Brenda! Oh, what did I say? No more Slim Fast! You drink whole milk. It's like, no, we don't drink. Oh, God. Oh, my God. There's. So it. Okay. Well, it looked bad. But at the end of the day, Stagadish actually only lost one drone. So it looked like it would be bad. This Baneling is going to make some drones feel very, very unsafe. Those drones are going to require very special care. One Baneling, of course, does not actually kill anything, but that's untrue. It killed itself. I mean, I have to pay respect. Oh no. Disaster. Absolute disaster for Ariok. But at the same time, Lings and Banes, volatile creatures, has both sides. Oh, the Lings, the Banes, the Lings. Hatcheries. Okay, the building is burning, but do not be fooled. That is a Zerg building. It cannot burn down, but it can just straight up die. The Lings were just going to work. No, trying to out micro. He's doing a lot of micro, but he does get the hatchery despite his best efforts. Meanwhile, Stagadish does have 1-1 on the way, reminiscent of the previous match. Just like in the last series, it appears we're going to play a similar game out again. Ariok, he's got a lair done, but he has no upgrades. He has a third with less drones. Stagadish has 1-1 on the way, no lair. Oh wait, he has a lair. Who knew? Oh, he has roach speed on the way. Wow. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So, right now, if we look at everything, Stagadish is significantly ahead, whereas Ariok, it appears, hasn't accomplished as much as he dreamed of with that early pressure. That spine crawler, the backbone of his defense. Stagadish is in, well, there are 4 more spines on the way, which is, like, I don't know if it's some sort of chiropractor pyramid scheme or something, but he may be misreading the situation. As right now, he has more workers, and he has roaches with better upgrades. And by that I mean any upgrades. You can never be too careful. That's a lie. You can definitely be too careful. If you're too careful, suddenly you let your opponent get back to even or footing or ahead. And that is what Stagadish is at risk of here. Alright, we'll see if the Overlords can dodge Corrosive Bile. Does he have Show Flyer Helper on? Yes, he does. That Overlord. Very concerned. The Ravagers trapped by other Ravagers. 14 more drones on the way for Stagadish. Fly, you fool! Back to full HP. Meanwhile, another Overseer heading through the center. Ariok, catching up in supply. Oh, the micro! Oh, it's up at the pre-micro! Not even close. But, can he get it this time? Oh, micro! No! It goes down. And that will supply block Ariok. Of course, the Overlord versus Ravager duel, one of the most epic in all of StarCraft. Will they, won't they? Can they, can't they? Another Overseer gunned down mercilessly by Corrosive Biles. Ariok building up. Let's look at the roach count. 30 to 16. Another Overlord. Slaughtered. Ariok building up his roaches, but Stagadish definitely building more. Now remember, Ariok had a significant supply lead in the last game, but that was no object for Stagadish. The same thing's happening. There is no ramp. Well, there was a ramp to go up. He chose not to. Smart moves. The Corrosive Biles thrown up on both sides. Micro's back. Ooh, big hits on Staggadish's army. I'm not sure. Corrosive Biles still landing. Doing a great job. He goes for the Overlord clump. I'm not sure how many roaches get hit by that. Morsling's at the back. He backs off. I'm not sure. He's going for the Ovies. Like, you gotta calm down. At some point, the units become more important. He really wants those Ovies. At the same time, though, Corrosive Biles just slamming into both sides. It does look like Stagadish has enough, though, to power through reinforcements. Wait, those are Overseers. It's GG, though. Stagadish will be your finalist, a rematch for the grand finals of the Cast Iron Academy. He holds it down and he knocks him out. More roaches countering less roaches. The board is set for a rematch. And I think Stagadish is going to have the advantage. Like, it felt like in that second game he found his footing a little better than he has in any other game today. The Banelings finding significant kills here. Jimmy! Put the SC... Not over my face! Oh my god. I'm going to replace you with an AI. Cheaper. It's been 2-0. I think we can just play it through. But now, the event you've all been waiting for. It is the Coaches Monobattle. The 8 of the coaches who maybe their players didn't make it through, but now get a chance. Before we have the grand finals. A Monobattle, for those who don't know, it's going to be a Monobattle draft. Which means they get to pick units on each team in order, so there's some semblance of balance. Well, I know Monobattle. People tell me what Monobattle is. Like, I haven't been playing this game for 10 goddamn years. So if you guys see one of these on the ladder, if you see a Google tag, make sure to complain that Winter doesn't have 1 million subscribers on YouTube yet. Not that many of you would see these Masters players on the ladder. I'll handle it. I'll take it from here. We're making sure the teams are balanced. And then... so little faith in your viewers. Well, they are viewers, not players. We're talking around... we're going to get the teams balanced. But we'll do a very scientific poll. What rank are you? This season. But subs count for 3 times as much, and it throws this poll off. Well, they gave me money. They are worth 3 times as much. Minimum. Isn't all chat Grandmaster? That's why I didn't add that. It would have skewed the poll. This is what you pretend to be on the ladder. So it looks like our #1 league for all players here, for all viewers, is Legends, as expected. Looks like we're nearly ready to go. I don't know if I'll be able to witness the draft, but we will see. If you don't play the game, why watch it? Yeah, if you don't play football, why watch it? But Winter, are you talking about freedom or non-freedom football? Yes. I hope this doesn't break my observer overlay. I have no idea what's going to happen here. But the Google Cast Iron Academy Coaches Monobattle Showdown. All the disappointment that they saw in their players, they can now let out on their fellow coaches. So we may not be able to see the draft that is happening, but we will see what units they get. I am an observer, so we're just going to have to see how it plays out. Because this is an arcade. Oh, this is... Ooh. What you guys doing? Somebody has picked. I can't tell what they picked, but it's a Zerg. Okay. Unfortunately, this is what... Oh, wait. The first pick is Stalker, and I can't quite... And I think Phoenix has been picked. There's a Hydralisk pick. I just try to read in between the lines. This is like a CAPTCHA challenge. Which one of the... Click on all the things that are a Starcraft unit. Wait. Is it in this box? I don't know. Marauder. Okay, that's one. Oh, Thor! Somebody picked Thor, really? Wait, no, Raven. Thought it was Thor. Does that say Dark Templar, Immortal, Dark Templar, Immortal? He's gonna land on Immortal. Well, don't lie to us. Don't pretend like you're gonna go, what? Battle Cruiser is locked in! I think the orange ones are locked in. Or maybe that's the opposite. I'm not sure. Battle Cruiser's locked in. For which team? I'm not sure. We'll know when the match starts, though. Okay. I see Oracle. There's something behind that. Dramatic noises. If one team gets all the air units, there could be an issue. So in Monobattle, here are the rules. Here are the rules. You can build your unit, and you can build basic detection and defense. So, like, for example, if you get Battlecruisers, you can build Ravens. But they don't have any spells. They're just detection. Or if you get Phoenixes, you can build Observers. But no other Robo units. Like, if you can get Medivacs, but they can't heal. Unless your unit is Medivacs, but then your team will probably hate you. Alright, we're almost there. The draft is nearly complete, and our units will be... Everyone say your unit. Emil has Hydras. Bolson has Immortals. Over here. Excuse me, good sir. Did you really? I knew it! I knew it! None of these are real people! There's a glitch in the Matrix. We found it. That is not a unit. I knew it all along! Alphastar trying to convince us. So we got battle... Okay, can I switch the team colors here? And does that show up in chat? So on this team, Battle Cruiser... No, wait, Hydra... Oh, God. Marauder... Well, we'll see when they build units. It'll be a surprise. You guys got some of it. Marauder, Battlecruiser, Zealot, Immortal, Hydra. And then other people have units. And we'll see what happens. So, the Monobattle Coaches Showdown. This is a bit of an optimistic barracks.
Oh, it's so fucking stupid. It hurts so much.
That's Artosis. Artosis. Safe search.
What a strong player.
There you go. A cannon on the way, which is, like, static defense is still very open. Some players, they might not like their unit pick. They will decide units are not a high priority. Looks like a whole lot of expansions across the board. The red team. Team, you know, Gialgatine. Okay, well, do we have to do this again? Let's see if... What is Gialgatine? What does geography mean?
The definition of geography. The study of the physical features of the Earth and its atmosphere, and of human activity
What is... Google. What is Gialgatine?
Here's the definition of geography.
Somebody get that AI. It may just... we're gonna type it in. So when I search Gialgatine, the first thing that comes up is his BattleNet profile. So, thank you to him, though, for organizing this whole event. We're going to use team colors here. Oh, or can we? Oh, God. This is going to be so confusing. I feel I'm just going to do play-by-play commentary. Usually I try to have some insight, maybe make some jokes, maybe watch the players, but I repeat myself. But, we will see. Okay, Thor's Hydra is done. There's a Warp Prism, but that doesn't tell us anything. Oh, Immortals, Zealots, Marauders. There's high-sec auto-tracking happening. I assume there's a Protoss air unit somewhere. Otherwise, I'm not sure why we're getting high-sec auto-tracking. Meanwhile, Stalker's chasing down. This is Zhao Zhao's barracks that he just kind of has out on the map. He is on the northern team. Team Yobi versus Team Gyal. No. North versus South is going to be a little easier. Red versus blue, but you have 4 players per team. It's hard to keep track of. There's a fusion core on the way, and there we go. 3 Stargates. Did somebody say Phoenix? Nobody. I'm assuming it's for Phoenixes. I am correct. Meanwhile, though, Stalkers versus Marauders. Stalkers from Malkin. Gonna be able to take them out. There's 4v4s are absolute. Oh, turrets flanking overlords. I hate when the turrets sneak up on my overlords. It's really just a tough situation. The barracks is trying to escape, but it doesn't have rapid reignition thrusters. So it can't. Wait, whose Marauder is this? Maybe a little bit far out. Down for the count. The rich gold base has been taken by... Oh, come on. Yeah. I assume that is Klingon. Who is going Zealots, which makes sense. That rich gold base is going to give him the extra mineral income he needs. A whole lot of upgrades and a whole lot of everything in the production tab. I'm not even going to remotely try to keep track. Overall, there's been the little skirmishes early. Marauders versus... So there are Stalkers. So Stalker, Hydra, Thor, and Phoenix up against... What is here? Immortal, Battle Cruiser, Immortal, Battle Cruiser, Marauder, and what do you build? Oh, Zealot. Oh, so actually a pretty even match. Not a... Now that I'm thinking about it. Alright, we're going to team colors. We'll just determine who's who by their units now. I can't keep track of this. It's impossible. Upgrades across the board. It looks like the Zealots, all they can do is outnumber the Phoenix lifts. They hope they get tired. They didn't drink their Red Bulls this morning. Or night. Or whenever. Actually, what am I saying? It's 4 p.m. It's light outside, okay? I was coerced into actually showing up during the daytime, but unrelated. This battle is happening. The Zealots overwhelming everything on the ground. The Phoenix is doing their best against the Immortals. There are medevacs. They do not heal. I think he's learning that right now. A whole lot of Zealots. The Phoenix is helping out. The Zealots close the distance. The Thors are backstopping this, but here come the Marauders. Another round of Zealots. Phoenix is using every last bit of energy on those lifts. The Marauders standing alone. The Thor count up to 4, and that'll be enough to hold for now. Overall, I think about an even trade. Obviously, it went a little worse for the Zealot Marauder team, as their units are just less cost-effective, but they can build a whole lot more of them, and that's what it's going to come down to. The Phoenix is still looking around for opportunities. There are plenty of bases out on this map. But of course, when you have to split them between 4 players, they dry up surprisingly quickly. At the end of the day, I think the Battle Cruisers and the Phoenixes are going to be... air units are always key in team games. But how effective can they be, and how many can they keep alive before we end up potentially getting to that half-map scenario? The Hydra is trying to close the distance, using his own buildings against him. The Zealots easily distracted. They're trying to slice through. A nice rapid-fire warp in there out of Yak. Oh, Phoenix is getting blasted out of the sky by Yamato, but still picking up a few of those SCVs. Battlecruisers trying to chase them down. They may fire while moving, but Phoenixes were the original stutter steppers. Another Yamato taking them on the way by. Phoenix is flying over cannons, but there are more than enough of them right now. Another Yamato. A parting shot from downtown. The Zealots will angrily shake their side-bladed fists into the sky as they have no other counter to the Phoenixes. Pulse crystals on the way. Phoenix range. The Hydra's looking for another opportunity. Upgrades across the board. Marauders closing the distance. Looking for they have concussive. I'm not sure what these ground upgrades are. They got 1-1 done. Looking for the gold base. It's already starting to mine out. Meanwhile, a whole huge troop of Zealots moving towards the right. The red team working on the Marauders. The entire army here. That means they're distracted and not dealing with the Zealots. The base is not canceled. Every mineral, it might not seem like it now, but every mineral is going to end up being very precious. The red team lumbering across with much less agile units, but a whole lot more power with those Thors. Thor's a technical counter to the battlecruisers, but the battlecruisers coming up. Yamato cannon should be off cooldown. Tactical jump is online, and the armies will clash as we battle both for victory and to see whose computer survives. High impact Thors making a high impact on those battlecruisers, but the Immortals blasting through the front line. The Zealots leading the charge. The Phoenixes pick up some of those Immortals. Are the Thors holding their ground? The battlecruisers are starting to crumble, but the Zealots are closing the distance. The Immortals on the deck. Battlecruisers knocked down, but Thors knocked out. Zealots still chopping through. Immortals doing more than enough. Another pickup is there. Last battlecruiser goes down. Reinforcing Zealots. Stalkers at the back. More Thors. Immortals at the front. Phoenix is out of energy. Another battlecruiser. Yamato's coming in. Last Thor. Stalkers blinking back. Planetary getting involved. Immortal badly bruised, picked up again. He's using whatever energy he has. The battlecruiser backs off, jumps away. Zealots cleaned up. It looks like the blue team attack is finally repelled. Who comes out on top? I don't know. The unit's lost. Phoenix is still looking for it. He jumps, but not very far. He hasn't gotten out much lately. Marauders looking to snipe some more hatcheries. The Marauders were not involved in that last fight. Immortals blasting through static defense and Stalkers alike. Hydra's chasing down Marauders, but Marauders have drugs. Stimpak, good skill to have. Getting chased into the corner, though. They can't get healed. The medevacs do not heal. There is nothing. Once their HP is gone, it ain't coming back. Unless someone else on their team had medevacs or a Queens for transfuse, very technically, but unlikely. Zealots cutting down the static defense. The Phoenix is constantly running out of energy. The supply is around 100 to 150 for most players across the board. Meanwhile, a combined attack from Emil and Alkin. Looking toward the northern side, the Phoenix is chasing down any Zealots. The Zealots moving to reinforce. Immortals and not Archons. I'm sorry, Freudian slip. Battlecruisers jumping into the fray. The Immortals backstopping. The Zealots are here. The Phoenix is standing by. They don't have too many lifts. Trying to pick up the Immortals. The Zealots should be enough. Cannons coming in. These are red team cannons. More Yamatos. More Phoenixes. The red team cannons coming up. Another big group of Phoenixes will join the fray. The blue team will clear this up and maintain this no man's land. The Phoenix, the battlecruiser shrugging off the Phoenix attacks with so much armor. I'm not sure what the Phoenix upgrades are, but there's no such thing as enough. He's only got +1 attack against +2 mech armor. He's smoothly caressing the armor of those cruisers and not much more than that. They're gonna need something more substantial to pound through, like high impact Thors. Immortals, Marauders, Charge Lots, the medevacs still don't heal, but eventually he'll figure that out. A whole lot of Stalkers. Thor's engaging Zealots. Stalkers and Hydras trying to stand their ground. Zealots trapped behind the front line here. The Immortals blasting through. The Thor's looking for an opportunity. Phoenix is on the back line. More Thors at the back. Zealots charging in. Will be cleared up. He has plenty where that came from. Starting to mine out, though. Stalkers in the front. Thors at the back. There's not much in front here. Another group of Zealots is on its way across, but the Immortals will fall, and the Marauders are pounded to pieces. The supplies, I think, well, it depends, because the biggest supply is for Ralden. Ralden is... Wait, who's the battlecruiser player? Yep, that's the one. The battlecruisers are the flying elephant bathtub in the room. Well, between all those stalkers and a whole Harry Potter series of phoenixes, there is enough anti-air to take down at least one. 5 more Thors on the way. The Thors, not the most agile creatures, unfortunately do not have tactical jump. Both sides trying to take those outlying bases. It's difficult. There's just so many units to bring to bear. But we're starting to pass through the phase of having a huge income. The main bases are starting to mine out. The secondary bases as well. And if anyone was lucky enough to have a third, that might be mining out depending on how many workers they had at it. The Zealots knocked down. Meanwhile, an attack on the left and the right. The red team with a full-fledged, full-map assault. The Marauders are pushing through the center. More probes are going to go down. This whole army, where are the battlecruisers? The battlecruisers have arrived. The fleet is here. Can the battlecruisers be matched by the Phoenixes? A full Yamato broadside into the Phoenixes. Half a dozen at least knocked down, but the Thors laying into the battlecruisers. They do have tactical jump. Marauders versus Hydras. Not the most cost-effective fight. It looks like it's going to be about even here at the end of the day. Immortals picked up. Thors knock them down out of the sky as the Phoenixes serve them up on a flying platter. Stalkers take down another Nexus. Marauders do win the fight just barely against the Hydras. The Thors blasting through the base that's halfway mined out. The Zealot count is about to drop to a trickle as he has next to no more income. Who was making the Zealots? It's Yak! He's only got 50 supply, as he has no more money. The time of Zealots has passed, but on the other side, Hydras and Stalkers are going to be in relatively short supply, pun intended, as the minerals are mining out as well. It's going to be about those big Bronze League Heroes units. Battlecruisers, Thors, both sides, Yamato Volley across the board, Immortals at the back, but the battlecruisers blasted out of the sky. The Immortals are incredibly helpful, but there's just not enough. The blue team is starting to crumble. The Zealots are needed, but they're just not here. He has nothing left for him. The Phoenix is on the other side of the map. The blue team's starting to run out of income. They're going to need to make some moves. Shield battery overcharge is good, but is it good enough? More Immortals are going to fall. The Immortal count is down to 5, down to 4, but Marauders come in to save the day. The Planetary getting involved. The Battlecruisers as well. The Marauders could make the difference. There's a jump. He jumped the Battlecruisers away. The Battlecruisers jump into his defense. The Marauders are engaging directly into the Thors. They're actually doing a pretty solid job right now. The Thors are falling. Battlecruisers defend the left flank. And it looks like the blue team will hold. Stalkers blink around, though. It's not over yet. He gets driven. They all get driven back. The blue team is struggling, for sure, but they still have the battlecruisers. The Thors are not enough on their own. The Stalkers are not enough on their own. The Phoenixes aren't even a dream on their own. But combined, they might have enough to stop the battlecruisers. Here comes the fleet, the Immortals, and the Yamato cannons. No tactical jumping out of this. He's stimming, but is he winning? The Marauders underneath. The stutter step is top-notch. Where are the reinforcements? The Hydra's piling in. Phoenix is all over the place right now. Hydra's underneath. Marauders as well. Immortals picked up. Hydras, Immortals, Marauders, Phoenixes, Battlecruisers, Zealots, Planetary, Stalkers, Phoenixes, Battlecruisers, Immortals, Marauders, Stalkers, Phoenixes, Zealots, blue, red, up, down, all around. Yamato's already exhausted. Planetary on the high ground, driven back again. Still 200 supply for the Battlecruiser player. He's got 6,900 minerals in the make, and he's got a nice 200 supply max out. The Marauders pressing forward. The shield battery overcharge is nothing in comparison to this fleet. More Thors brought into the front. The front line is breached. The Battlecruisers are bruised and battered, but most of them remain unbroken. Immortals underneath. More Stalkers. High-impact Thors doing so much damage. The Battlecruiser count is starting to crumble. They're thinning out. The HP is minimal. A single Immortal at the back. Where did the Marauders go? The blue team took the entire top left during this. 19 Battlecruisers, 37 Thors, let alone all those other inferior units that have gone down throughout this. The Terrans putting the teams on their back if they weren't able to coach their students to victory. So what does that mean? Meanwhile, though, the top left has been taken. The red team moving. The battle cruisers. One very, very ambitious Hydra. The Marauders starting to rip into it. It looks like it's gonna come down to the battle cruisers versus the Thors. Everyone else is under 100 supply. By a pretty large margin as well. It's gonna be maxed out battle cruisers. His team might have been feeding him money, which wouldn't be a bad strategy. Scans. But no matter what league we're in, no matter what map we're on, the fleet, hard to contest at this stage of the match. On the ground, +3. Wait, no, that's the wrong person. 3-3 for both sides. 5 Thors at a time. The Phoenix count is drying up. They're both feeding their hero Terrans. They're champions. Will it be enough? There's so much anti-Thor, but the anti-battle cruiser is not nearly as direct. Here come the battle cruisers. Every Yamato volley is devastating. Here come the stalkers. The Marauders are closing in. Where are the reinforcements? The high-impact Thors blasting into the battle cruisers, but the battle cruisers and everything else blasting the Thors in turn. The blue team on the march. This could be it. He picks up some of the immortals, but that's just delaying the inevitable. There's almost nothing left. 5 Thors at a time, but it's not enough. A handful of zealots. Yeah, coming back in with whatever minerals he has, which is not very many, as he mined out like 8 minutes ago. Z's Rowland with 200 supply of max upgrade battle cruiser. He has 16 battle cruisers. Nothing else really matters. He's got some SCVs underneath. The times of plenty have ended, and the times of desperate scarcity are well underway. The red team is mining out the right side, whereas the blue team has had pretty solid control over the left. The middle bases all across the board are pretty much gone. They're drying up or gone already. The survivors of the Hydralisk player, Emil, gone. Going the way of Yak. Meanwhile, this is happening. Yak, forced to recall his probes, but revenge! Oh!
Surprise, motherfucker!
Oh my god! A disproportionate response! Oh, Jesus! Wow! Oh! Rock, paper, scissors, fleet of battle cruisers. Not a fun game for the red team to play. 22 battle cruisers. The supply is just not adding up for the red team here. They have Stalkers, Phoenixes, and Thors, but there are Immortals, Marauders, and Battle Cruisers, which are just better in almost every scenario. Now, the Marauders can't be healed, but neither can the Stalkers. Technically, the Thors and Battle Cruisers can in one way or another. This could be it. Are we going to fight? Because it's here, and it's now. Where are the Yamatos? They're moving forward. A great concave for the red team. This is the best it's gonna get. Hydra's moving in. What zealots there are the Thors in high impact. Not all of them. The Immortals underneath. Ralden is maneuvering around the front lines to maximize his damage while minimizing the threat. The Thor count is falling. The battle cruisers jump. He ducks. He blocks on top. The blue team cleaning up the army. There's nothing left. It's all over. GG. The battle cruisers will tactically jump. The blue team, Bolson, Rowden, Yak, and Zhao Zhao. It's all over, except for that one guy who hasn't left yet. Is that guy me? I think so. Right? Do I not get a victory screen? Alright. Victory! For the blue team. And with that, let us get back to the Cast Iron Academy Finals. Our finals will, let's go, our heroes. Officer Lon the Anger. Does that say Lon? Administrative Carlton the Venom. Colonel Keith the Serpent. Representative Glenn the Whispering. Attorney Adrian the Flowing. Corporal Josh the Soul Steel. Attorney Nigel the Shark. And Colonel Brandon the Wraith. Your heroes. But it is now time for the grand finals. The grand finals will be a best of 5, but Bobalicious coming through from the winner's bracket will get a 1-game advantage. Whereas Stockadish, who fought his way through the loser's bracket, will have to take 3. Bob, just 2. I would like to take this time to remind you and to remind Ariok to like and subscribe. And make sure that Google knows that this video is worth watching, even if Google knows this video is worth watching. We're going to be doing an interview with the finalists momentarily. If you have any pressing questions, for the players. Just gonna make sure we get Bombadish. Bobalicia. I don't know if he's here. LOL, Bob. Wait. These guys not so good with the technology. And then we'll do the map veto. We'll do the map vetoes in Discord. You can get that all done. Who's gonna win? Good afternoon.
Hello, hello.
Hello, how are you doing today? Alright, I think it works. Okay, well, the finalists. Welcome, Bobalicious and Stag Edition. Am I saying either name wrong?
It's Bobalicious.
It's
like
Bobalicious. I'm sorry.
Boba, yeah. That's okay. It's also my dog's name too.
Your dog's name is Bobalicious?
I didn't know that. That's
Boba.
cool.
No, that'd be weird. I just named him Boba, like a normal person. Well,
That was great.
congratulations on making it to the finals. First, did you watch the Monobattle match?
Yes.
And you guys
Just a
were
little
both of your coaches were
Well,
in that?
my coach sadly is not around today. Couldn't make it.
So how are you going to
but-
win?
I know, right? That's a problem.
What about you, Boba?
You know,
Sorry, my coach?
Yes, your coach.
Oh yeah, he's Thayer, the master. Robust.
Alkin.
Yeah.
Has he
Alkin,
has he
that's
given
right.
you any without giving too much away? Has he given you any advice for the finals?
A couple mistakes I continue to make over. But
no, don't stop
yeah.
making them. keep on making them.
But yeah, just a couple tips in here and there. Hopefully,
So-
I'll execute it.
So you guys, the Cast Iron Academy, you can just from your perspective. So pretty much, everybody we went under lockdown, right? So you had to find something to do, and you guys decided, I'm gonna get better at Starcraft. How did that happen? First, Staga.
Yeah, so I've been on and off on StarCraft since Wings of Liberty, more or less. Not beta, but a little bit after that. I started at bronze and clawed my way through platinum and tried again in Storm the Host and then let it rest. And then when quarantine started, I said, why not give it another shot? So I picked up Legacy of the Void for the first time. I had to deal with shit like adets and all sorts of fresh hell of that sort. But it was a learning curve, and right before Cast Academy, so I joined Cast Academy as a Platinum Zerg, and right before it started, I kind of clawed my way into Diamond. So, yeah, that's where I am today. But I don't feel like a Diamond player, so lol.
Well, we'll get back to that. But Boba, how about you?
Yeah, so I mean, I was playing like Brew War like since I was middle school. A little
Okay,
bit in high
bummer.
school, just kind of for fun. That's right. And then I think Shelter plays the Stardust, playing some Brew War with a friend of mine, Josh. And then he kind of introduced me. He's like, "Hey, this kind of sucks. Try StarCraft 2 instead." And then we played some team games. Heard about the Cast Iron Academy, and yeah, I got pretty addicted. I mean, the mechanics are better. I think there's a pretty good Google community, and pretty supportive. And it's been a lot of fun.
Wait, so you're telling me
yeah.
that like you started just whenever Shelter in Place started, and then you're now Diamond already?
Oh, he plays Protoss, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. Just a move, right?
Well, but is that what you're saying? You just started StarCraft 2 on lockdown? Like-
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of time, So about 2.5 months ago, ish. Started with Brew War.
Great, good for you.
Oh, that's very, very wholesome here. Let's ruin that soon. But just real quick, like, so what was the process with the coaches? Because, so some generous people, I have my own style of coaching, but I get paid for it. So, how did the coaches go about training you guys? And just a quick rundown on what they were doing. Staga again.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was zoning out. Can you repeat the question real quick?
So what did your coach do? Your coach was touring. Yeah. What was that process? What was that like?
Oh, like how? Okay. So basically, he is. I think he's a Masters 1, very high up there. And our coaching sessions would usually be focused on, at this point, things like how could I have microed certain situations better, and because otherwise you have those general tips that like you can't avoid, like don't get supply blocked, work on your scouting and things like that, which is like just me having to grind games. But he would help me like in certain scenarios to process how like microing like certain all-ins or a certain situation would have helped me hold and trade more efficiently. and we do this like once a week or twice a week, depending on like how much time he has available, because obviously, you know, he's busy. Yeah, things like that.
Sounds pretty typical. It looks like it's paying off so far. What about you, Boba?
Yeah, I mean, when we started, we just kind of went through some of the replays, and then it was kind of interesting because like when I started, I pretty much just kind of follow Vibe, B2GM, just do an A move, and you can get to Platinum. And then I think once we started coaching, we're going over replays. It was like, oh, your Stargate is late. Oh, your Robo's late. It's really confusing to me. I mean, like how you just have that kind of intuition. And so I think a lot of the coaching is kind of going through replays and then kind of refining some of the build order and having a lot of intuition.
So
lately,
for you,
yeah,
it was more like these are the things that you don't really realize you're doing wrong, whereas I think Staga was more of like, I realize I'm doing them, but this is how to do them better. Because Boba, you just started playing a little earlier. Staga, unfortunately, was in Platinum as a Zerg, which is quite a place to be. But you've broken out. So,
but I would say the majority of the coaching is me pinging him all the time, like, "Hey, check this out. Hey." So just
am I still
annoying
bad? Is this build still bad? Well,
so I appreciate his patience.
We'll see whose style is proven right. We'll do map vetoes here in. Actually, let's do map vetoes now, and then we'll get your predictions first. So we got the A. Well, for the finals, I don't know. Do you guys have the style of vetoes here? Who starts?
We've been doing A, B, B, A, B, A, C.
Well, we have it's a best of 5, but there is a one-match start, so
Right.
I'm sure Gialgatine will chime in and tell us how to do StarCraft. You think we'll get a game that's over 7.5 minutes long, or will Boba continue to just build Immortals and Centuries and play like it's 2012, even if he didn't play then?
I know, right? I haven't heard that choo-choo in a long time.
Sure.
I don't know.
So I'd imagine that Bobalicious is going to be the top seed, so he gets first veto here. So what map do you just not want to play, Boba?
Golden Wall.
That's fair. All right, Stagger.
I guess
Don't be boring.
I'll get rid of Death Aura.
Okay. All right. So
Do I keep going, or I don't know how the best of 5 works.
how does best of 5 work? Yeah, I don't know if he's still here even. He's not even in the group chat, so hopefully he can fill us in. But so this has been playing. You guys have been playing the bracket. Was this over the course of 1 ban each? Okay, yeah, I know that. I figured that out. There's 7 maps, 1 ban each. Leaves us with 5. First ban is first pick. So you get first pick, Boba. Now we'll just go back and forth.
I'll do Everdring.
Okay.
What are you eating? All right. He's got.
Oh, just scooching my bowl of oatmeal. That's my lunch. It's a long day.
Okay.
A bowl of Bobas.
A bowl of. I tried to, and then I thought like that didn't make any sense. But that's never stopped me in the past. Everdream. Second map stack.
Go for Pillars.
Okay. Bold choice. Boba. Map 3. You
What
got
else is
Eternal
left?
Empire or Submarine. Or Ice and Chrome.
Ooh. Do Eternal Empire.
And then the last map, because there is the 1 map advantage for Boba. Is it going to be
Submarine?
Submarine. So
Yeah.
we're not. So it's going to be. Oh my God. Everdream, then Pillars of Gold, then Eternal Empire, and then Submarine. I'm gonna write that down because I'm going to forget after the first game.
Yes, please.
Everdream. Yes, this is how online tournaments work, everyone. Like, this is a standard process of everyone forgetting how it works every single time. So, last thing. First, anything, start with Boba. Anything you want to say or anyone you want to shout out or just anything.
Yeah.
Well, not
just
anything, but anything.
Yeah, Yeah. So appreciate and all the friends who I've been playing with and practicing with, and the community around it, and yeah, especially my wife who's pregnant, about to deliver in like 2 weeks.
Damn.
And so it's been a lot of juggling to try to find time to practice and having to deal with that. So I really appreciate that.
Look at you still winning.
Well, congratulations
And
on your
like to
newest
make
larva.
also like to make a shout out to a group of friend of mine called XGG. Don't ask what that means.
Okay, well, now that you said it, I definitely don't want to ask. Moving on. So, Stag.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This community has been a lot of help during the shelter-in-place, quarantine, etc. It's been a lot of fun.
We had to cut him off. All right, he was being too wholesome and boring. Stag, can you hear me? Okay, Google. Generic Korean interview answers. That's not what I expected. Ariok. What is this? No. I'm gonna try rejoining. We were so close. So close to it going oh we connecting. Discord is just broken.
Okay, here you.
Oh, it worked.
Now
Boba's gone, but you're back. You were in the middle of telling me how great everybody was.
Oh. All right. Well, quickly, I'd said, yeah, everybody's great. Thank you for Eric. Thank you for Gialgatin, Eric. And I was, just giving the chat some crap for not supporting me. And other than that, thank them for the RAM, and that's it.
What is your prediction? Since we don't got Boba here, what's your prediction for the finals? Final score.
Oh, why are you asking me this? I don't know.
Because you're one of the players. You are half of the finalists. This doesn't seem like an unreasonable question.
I tried to watch the replays, but I was enjoying the Monobattles. I think I know what's up, but I'm gonna do my best.
So 3-1, you win.
That's like I have my work cut for me. Yes.
All right, Boba. Prediction for score.
Oh, for this
Yes.
grand final?
Yes, for the one you're playing in. Yes.
What was Staga's prediction?
3-1 him. I mean, I kind of
All right,
coerced him into it, but
Then 3-0 me.
there you go. And you start with a 1-game advantage because you just keep winning. Well, good luck to everyone, and have fun. I'll get the first map loaded up, and I'll see you there. Thank you for
All right,
participating.
sounds
Good
good.
luck. Have fun, yeah.
Thank you.
And I want to shout out, I see Google StarCraft in the chat saying if you work at a company that has other StarCraft players, to directly quote, a company that has other StarCraft players, check out the Corporate Esports Association at cea.gg. Signups are open now. So if you're lucky enough to work at a company with other StarCraft players, or you want to get them involved, well, there you go. I can link that again one more time in the chat. Wait, can we permit somebody gift a sub to Google? Get some of that Amazon money to Google. But it's time for the finals. When the players are ready, we are ready. The Cast Iron Academy season finals, grand finals. I don't know if this is the first one. I think it's the first one. 1 second, says Bobalicious. He says, let me close Chrome, which is fair. Chrome will probably kill his computer if left open for too long. He would know. As remember, Staga is on the Chrome team. So, but knows better than most. The votes are in. Bobalicious is the people's pick. We survived through the Monobattle for this. You might be like, I want to say, before we get started, the map is loaded. You might be like, Winter, did Google pay you for this? Thank you, Special. No, not Special. Somebody just gifted Special. Anyways. Yes. But, when you like and subscribe and watch this entire video and click on the ads, they'll have to pay me even more. Don't forget. Thank you for watching. In the top right, the Diamond Protoss player. Starting SC2 just a few months ago, and now coming through one game on the board from the winner's bracket. Coached by Alkin, and he also works on the advertising and Google Ads team. On the technical side, I believe, but either way. So, enjoy this unskippable ad. Brought to you by Bobalicious. And in the bottom left, from the loser's bracket, struggling in the winner's bracket finals against this same opponent, but back again after battling his way through a hectic ZVZ, now ready to give it one more shot. It is Staga Dish. Make sure to close all your other tabs. He knows. Did I mix up? No, I did not. Coached by Turing, by the way. Thank you. I think the real heroes here, I know, from experience, the coaches. The players, sure. But it's really the coaches getting annoyed at all hours of the day by players who just need to learn to build more units and stop forgetting to build their robo. And by forgetting to build their robo, I mean finally breaking out the Twilight Council. Is it going to be the Slim Shady Adept build? We'll see. I'm not sure. Like, was he holding back? It's a robotics facility here. So far, so good. It's looking like the build. We will see. This is your opportunity. I'm staring at it. I'm waiting. I'm watching. I'm ready. But no. A dark shrine. A cheeky start to the series. I like it. He's up a game. I think this is definitely a build. You give it a shot. It's a good game one build. Making sure, like, your opponent makes a mistake. It's one of the oldest mistakes, but it's still made by players from 2,000 to 8,000 MMR. Sometimes you just don't have detection. It's been an issue since Starcraft 1, and in Starcraft 2, your overlords don't provide detection. That actually blew my mind. When I learned what the Brood War was, many years into the future after playing SC2, well, honestly, I knew about it, but I didn't play it. Realizing that overlords provided detection Would that work in StarCraft 2? Most Zerg players would say for sure. That's the only way to make it balanced. But unfortunately not the case here. And that means DTs are a very real and present danger to a player who has 0 Spore Crawlers. Bobalicious ready to speed run the Cast Iron Academy Finals. There are 0 Spore Crawlers. The lair is not done, and this third hatchery is dead. It's a little late. And he just walks away. Boba breaking out the clean Archon drop build behind. This is a terrible spot already for Stockadish. And when you get a Warp Prism, you got a Robo. When you got a Robo, you can build Immortals. When you got Immortals, Roaches are rendered essentially obsolete. Now, of course, numbers matter, but here, Stockadish, I don't think 8 Roaches are going to make the difference. The potential Archon drop. Chilling behind this, he's taking a third as well, not slipping on the macro front. Right now, Bobalicious looking very good to be already on match point. He's got 44 workers. He's got his Archon drop on the field. That means all the Zerg units are anchored at home. He's got a third Nexus. He's got a Forge. He's building Immortals. What's not to love? Stockadish, like, what are you going to do? You've just got to deal with it. You've already lost the third. The Archons just come floating into the main, murdering drones. Spine crawlers are not going to be a permanent, well, they will be a permanent solution, if costly one. More drones pop out and get punched into oblivion. If he loses an Archon, that could be an nope.
What a save!
Everything going Boba's way here. Looks like that oatmeal was more than enough. More spines are on the way, but spines, they cost drones, they cost money. While they might technically be mobile, they're effectively static defense. Oh, an Archon moving in. A little risky here. No target fire, though. Means that a different Archon gets its shields bruised a little. It does regenerate, of course, in the Warp Prism. Boba with some more gates. Slapping on the other Templar. The Templar Archives. +1 attack is on the way. Staga just trying to hold on here. He's trying to recover economically. He's got 12 Roaches and 2 Ravagers, but Boba's not letting him slow down. Follow a push here. 3 Immortals. 3 Archons, a few Sentries. Big warp in of Zealots. The repeat rate on that keyboard, though. Charge and +1 finishing up. Roaches and Ravagers are going to be hard-pressed to deal with this. Oh, Changeling spots it. But there's not much else to be done but build units and pray. There's not that many force fields here. There's a lot of Ravagers. The drone count is very low here for Stockadish. And in fact... Oh, wait. He turns around. He turns back. Turns around again. If Stockadish can maybe get out in front of this, maybe gun down the Warp Prism, that would be a huge pickup. Doesn't want to risk losing those Ravagers. The army supply is actually bigger. Oh, Corrosive Bile on the Prism. Big. He throws him up, and he knocks it down. He gets 3 of his own Overseers with it, so it doesn't come for free. But the Warp Prism was the most important part of this, and this was his one opportunity. A Zealot and Immortal getting caught. Buying time, and a Zealot counterattack Stockadish, making a mountain out of a molehill. How big is a molehill? Pretty small, I'd imagine. These Roaches and Ravagers, Stockadish. 9 probes went down with that as well. Starting to draw the worker count a little closer to even. The Overseers a bit ahead of themselves. A DT Warping is now a threat. The Ravagers coming in an awkward angle. The Corrosive Bile's whiffing. Bobalicious struggling to defend both fronts, but Archons and Immortals, when left to their own devices against smaller amounts of Roaches and Ravagers, do pretty well. So Starcraft with a successful defense and counterattack, but not as successful as it could have been. 15 more drones. What is the army supply? Bobalicious. He's got a lot of Zealots. Scouting Immortal. Archons. The upgrades right now, +2, +1. Starcraft is just kind of taking everything else. The Archons are rolling up the ramp. The Roaches and Ravagers will spot them. A two-pronged attack coming in now from Bobalicious. The Zealots, they're on the creep. They are spotted. The Archons looking for an opportunity. If they close the distance, there's going to be some serious problems here for Starcraft. The flank is coming in. A little disjointed. Corrosive Bile across the board. But he target fires an Immortal, which means the Archons get a whole lot of surface area. A lot of the Archons are bruised and at low shields here, but the Micro from Starcraft is, unfortunately, doing the opposite of helping. And that means Bobalicious comes barreling through with a devastating number of Archons. And the momentum shifts right back. Bobalicious brings himself to match point. It looked for a second like it might turn around. But it was just too much. Pillars of Gold. $15 kill Archon, getting a little bit of everything. It feels like Bobalicious, at some point, just having a solid timing and game plan is important. I will say, like, I'll put on my angry coach loincloth, and you have to have a plan. Like, you have to have a game plan. Things might happen. Detours might be taken. Roadblocks might be put up. But eventually you want to get back on track. And it's obvious that Bobalicious, I think it might be an advantage that he just started playing recently. Like, he just started playing a few months ago. He doesn't have, potentially, the bad habits, or good ones, but sometimes bad, built up over playing intermittently or playing but not very much. And it appears that Starcraft still has that less experienced Zerg habit of kind of forgetting units can exist if you don't see them, and there's nothing that really embodies that more than Dark Templar. Yeah, for the Cast Iron Academy, the original requirement, I'm not sure where Bobalicious went. Alright, he's here. We're good to go. The original requirement was players are Platinum or below, but both these players did achieve Diamond during the last month. I think coaching plus focus play has a lot to do with that. What could be the final match? The pride, the shame. We will see. No, he doesn't have zero. He's got nothing, Jimmy. Staga with a double extractor cancel. I mean, you get a couple extra drones out, which, is it worth it? He had to cancel a larva, so the answer is no. But, did it look cool? Definitely. Boba, on the other hand, just gate expand, and I think we can expect something that results in an Immortal Sentry push. He's been pretty consistent thus far. Boba gonna do a Diligent Scout again. We have seen no real cheese today, like no real early pressure. Sure, the ZVZ had a little bit of Ling Bane action, but they weren't able to land any killing blows. I wouldn't mind. You don't want to go out trying it all in and failing. Pillars of Gold. There's a ramp. Any map that has a ramp up to your natural is going to make it harder to attack. Force field, just generally getting vision, jamming your units in, especially like a larger roach attack. Doing some sort of roach all-in, not nearly as effective. So I would not be, I wouldn't recommend roaching. What I would recommend for Staga, if I had to be coerced to do that, I would recommend just make sure you get your spores at 4 minutes, get like 44 drones, and then let's build some roaches. But Boba, with the Stargate. Mixing it up, trying something fresh, trying something new. No Robo this time. I like it. Showing that he has not one, not two, but maybe even three in the way of builds. Baneling Nest. Zergling speed is still only about halfway done. Will it be an all-in? Stogadish is now at 26 drones. Hasn't really been decided yet. The first Adept comes in. Gonna get a good scout. Boba coming up. A Diligent Scout as well. Let's look at the Boba cam. He doesn't see anything that should make him panic. That doesn't mean there isn't anything that should make him panic. 12 more Zerglings on the way. The Adept is heading back. $16. He's bound to see there is no third, though it could technically be the other location. The Oracle is done. A bit of a supply block for Boba, but he's building a pylon. Boba scouts the other base. I think this all really does come down to where the Oracle goes and what happens with the second one. A great reaction. 2 shield batteries. Unfortunately, though, the Oracle... Well, the Oracle is spotted. Oh, no. The drone not even close to building. Okay. The Oracle just goes in. He saw all of the Zerglings. Everyone knows now. The Oracle's heading back across. The actual presence of mind to not use the Oracle to kill anything, but instead save the energy. Boba heads home. All of the shield batteries he can afford. Well, not quite, but this is optimistic. We will say, like, does he use a stasis? Does he just hold on? He could hard wall off. I think he saw it. There are 2 Oracles with a lot of energy, but he's not doing anything with them quite yet. Is there a sentry? There's a lot of... He's going to have to break through that Stalker. The Oracles... Oh, he just lets it go. The pylons! The pylons! Oh, no! The pylons are the powerhouse of the Protoss! And while the Oracles can kill all these Lings, The probes, though, there's that last shield battery. It is overcharged, and that is disastrous. Starcraft found himself actually able to get some damage done, but when it came down to killing the probes, he missed his opportunity. He's killed a grand total of 4. That's a bit optimistic. There's more Zerglings heading out. This ain't over yet. The Oracles will eventually run out of energy. But at the end of the day, well, the Oracles are all out of energy. There are no other units. So wait a second, this ain't over yet. While that first attack was a little disjointed and less than committed, the Oracle charges up, but it only gets a shot off. You gotta wait a little bit longer than that. The wall will be breached. The second round even more dangerous than the first. He gets in. There is an overcharge ready. Zealots are warped in. All the probes are pulled. The battery's out of energy. Is there enough energy for overcharge? There is now, but it's a little on the late side. Stargadish has committed. 21 probes and counting. And the Oracles, they look good, but they weren't quite enough. The Zerg Rush looks like it may be what puts Stargadish over the top. Gets him a point on the board. It's still a little closer than it could be here. But Banelings are completing, the Oracles are out of energy, and it looks like Stargadish is going to be able to scrape out a victory. Oh, that'll do it. It wasn't quick, it wasn't clean, but it was a victory. Bobalish is not quite able to put together a defense. And I mean, I don't blame him for it. I was talking about, it does seem like the best opportunity is to interrupt Bobalicious before he actually gets any sort of plan, before he's able to put anything together. I don't blame him for giving it a shot there. We will see. That means we're not just going to see Boba sweep the tournament. We'll see. He's probably consulting. We're waiting for Boba. Once he's ready, he has to finish up his oatmeal. That is the source of his power. Stargadish, I think, like, if he just calms down a little. The games have looked stressed. Of course, Starcraft is a stressful game, and while they may work at Google, it still is probably more stressful than their day job. When I was, shout out, I won't name names, but I was lucky enough in my one vacation I've taken in 5 years, able to tour Google, thanks to a dedicated viewer. And how could you not be relaxed? Besides the incredibly stressful and high-powered nature of the career, that place is ridiculous. Like, I'm not sure anyone works sober at any point. But I guess it depends on the person. Get to the nap pods. Depends on their style. You gotta reach the Balmer's Peak. Depends on whether it's crunch time or not. I'm kind of hesitating. So, I don't know who it was. They will remain unnamed because I didn't get a name on that either. Unrelated to the other thing. But apparently someone asked whether I would be angry coaching these games. And my answer was, it's not the player's fault. It's the coach's fault. Oh, Jimmy, come on. And also, you can't blame, like, these players have been working out. Bobalicious has played for 2.5 months. He is now 1 game away from winning this tournament. He's in Diamond. And, of course, Stagadish, it's not like he's been a long time, 10-year Starcraft player, on and off. I mean, who hasn't? I don't know, maybe your late 20s, early 30s. Maybe you're from California or Germany. You played Brood War, but then you played StarCraft 2 a little bit, but you kind of had responsibilities and things like that you had to prioritize. You didn't play as much, but you watch a lot of StarCraft, and maybe some more lately, especially under quarantine. I don't know, am I close, Ariok? That's what the demographics say. Well, a Stargate, a bunch of Zerglings here. He kind of just sees it because there's a probe at the launch tower. But the shield batteries are not done. So pretty much this game depends on whether that Adept dies before the shield batteries finish. Oh my god! Oh! Wait, is that a wall on the right side? I think it is. He's building more yeah, he's not getting in here. Yep, that's 3 shield batteries. I don't know how many times you gotta try. No. Is this a wall behind it, is my question. It's not so much. No. Still a wall. Still, yep. Still the same units. Oh, no. I'm not entirely sure what he expected to happen with that last bit there. It seems like he kind of got stuck in a loop. But yeah, the wall's still there. Nope, still a wall. Still the same wall that was there before. Oh. Nothing changed. Unfortunately, the Oracle has now killed any drones. The Lings come back saying the Oracle didn't get enough kills yet. Oh. This Adept has 16 kills. Now hailed as a High Lord. This Adept will now be commanding the armies of the Protoss after slaughtering over a dozen Zerglings while still only having 10 HP. Bobalicious, now, I think at the same time, I think he recognizes he is in a comfortable position. He is definitely ahead. The Oracle Micro is pretty good. The Queen. Branda! He recalls the Oracles, which is one way to handle that situation. Boba's maybe reaching a little far. He's killing his own pylon to get out of his base. Which does seem like the follow-up here. Boba just... Well, he's building his... He got his robo. He built a second Stargate, which he may have forgotten. Like, this Stargate is for Oracles, and this Stargate is for Phoenixes. He got a well-organized situation. Alright. So technically 3 oracles can beat 2 queens, but it's a bit of a fuzzy set of math. Alright, the Spore Crawler's trying. Boba. Unfortunately, the drones have all gone into the gas where they can easily be targeted. There's no way to sugarcoat it here. Staga is struggling. He's been struggling at most stages of this game. And I don't think that struggle will end anytime soon. If he's able to somehow get to, like, 60 drones and 3 bases to maybe that comfort zone that he trained for, I'd imagine, then who knows. But will Boba let him get there? And it's not like Boba did much besides have the one adept to hold the wall. But that one adept has single-handedly broken his Zerglings' bodies and Staga's spirit. But he's trying to recover. Still down in workers. Still up against oracles, which you get a little out of position with your drones. You don't have the queens there, and you got a bad day. And I would say, like, you don't know what could happen, but Boba has been pretty consistent about following up his attacks. He's done a very good job of making sure he finds the timing. This game, though, he is actually playing a little more defensive. Looks like an observer went down there. He's adding on some cannons at his third. But he is also going for the ground army. Immortals, charge lots, +1. Templar archives, gateways. Okay, well. There is +1 ranged attack in Carapace, but... Oh, there we go. Hydralisk done. Oh, there is a Roach Warren done. Some roaches on the way. Now, it's a prayer. Boba's going to have to make a mistake, and Staga's going to have to be on top of it. And even then, the economy is a big issue. The income advantage, I think, kind of tells the story here better than I could, but... I mean, I'm here to cast, so... The army value... There's Storm on the way. Charge, +1. 4th base being taken. When you're ahead, get more ahead. He's fighting. I'm not sure how this works out. It looks like a little ambitious. Loses 1 Oracle. Kills 3 drones. Still down 19 workers. The Overseer going into the main. Probably not going to be super hyped to see a Templar Archives. There's a fleet beacon. It appears... yes. Guys, you know, my life for ire. Yeah. We cannot hold. What are you saying? How do... Wait a second. Does anybody know this guy? He's passing for a Zealot for now. All of the late game tech coming in for Bobalish. We got Storm. Got +1. +1 is a late game. A fleet beacon. Is he gonna go? If he just builds a mothership, then you gotta give him credit. You gotta give him points for style. What else would the fleet beacon be for? Not carriers. Not when you could build a mothership. Not when you could win with a mothership. Boba's moving out with... Honestly, this army is not very scary, and he doesn't have a prism. So, Storm is... Wait, Jimmy, what's the forecast? That's not looking great, but there is no 4th, so he backs off. The Overseer spots this army. There's a 4 Zergling counterattack, which is optimism at its finest. 2 carriers on the way. This army could be killed. This is an incredibly... There's a chain... Yeah, let's go get him, boys. No, I mean, yes. My life for hire. What else did they say? This is not that strong of an army. Like, it's a very expensive with a lot of, like, oh god. Well, storm, the stasis. Oh, jeez. Oh. Oh my god. Sweet baby Jesus. Sweet Artanis. Well, you ever been stuck with your back up against your own stasis units? Oh, the roaches pop out. He's distracted by the rocks, which is possibly these. It appears Boba's a little distracted. He's gonna lose all his immortals. So that is the only way any good could come out of this. I'm not sure what Boba was doing, but the rocks, ever the geologist at heart, wanted to see what was inside, but instead found the death of 3 of his hard-working immortals. Now there are 3 Archons and 2 Phoenixes, and that's not much of an army, but it's what he has. Meanwhile, the rest of the possible gateways. So those 3 immortals dying means that this game will continue. There are lurkers, but lurkers not well known as a counter to carriers. Now this might be an opportunity. There's 10 Hydras on the map, which is maybe just enough to deal with 3 carriers potentially. How many storms are there? There are 0 High Templar. So once again, we've seen this before. Stargadish has found maybe the army to actually do something. It depends. Like he's kind of just running around. This is possibly he's gonna attack the same spot. He's going to avenge the Zerglings. There are no cannons here. He can burrow the Lunkers. He will. This is possibly his best opportunity. He's going to kill the interceptors of these 2 carriers before the battle really begins. The Observer late to the party. The Lurkers doing a lot of damage. The rest of the carriers show up. The Archons. The Lurkers stuck behind, but the Archons are dying. Is there enough to kill the interceptors? Without the interceptors, the carriers are dead weight. He's targeting down 1 carrier. 1 carrier does fall. Stalkers are warped in. There are shield batteries here. He's targeting another carrier. He's making it happen. Boba tried to go for everything. And he's still holding on. Like, make no mistake. Under the fire of the interceptors, he kills the Stargate going for another carrier. Wait, is he? No. He's not targeting. 13 more Zealots are warped in, and he's gonna, well, crush the remaining forces. At first, it looked like he might have what it takes, but Bobalish's economy came to bear, and he crushed him with superior production, and now the counterattack is incredibly dangerous. Staga has 61 drones against 87 probes. He's got 122 to 183 supply. He has 2-2, but he's up against 5 carriers. Losing a 4th. Only mining gas here. Boba prioritizing the right things. A whole lot of Zealots heading in. These units are going to be pulled out of position. A great counterattack here from Boba. The attempt at targeting a carrier not going so great. The Zealots are cutting off reinforcements and cutting off hope, which is even worse. It's starting... Well, starting is maybe a little less than accurate, but sliced to pieces. Stargadish is running out of options. While he may hold the carriers, the Zealots have eviscerated his economy. He has a hive, but not much else. 25 drones. He has less than half the workers. The Zealots may die. But how do you ever stop the carriers? He tries to go for the Spire. It's a little late for that. 4 more Stargates. For every Hydra Stargadish can build, Bobalicious can build a Stargate. Another desperate counterattack, which is his only hope. a half a dozen carriers at a time. I think we're quickly hurtling towards this conclusion. It looked rough with the Zerglings, but Boba had the decency to draw it out. But now, the drones, are they supposed to be here? The Templar are getting involved. Point blank storms! Somehow the Templar survived the battle. They're throwing their water balloons angrily at the Hydras. But GG, WK, well played. Bobalicious is your Google Cast Iron Academy champion. They might not be the best of the best, but Bobalicious proves himself the best of the rest. Congratulations to him and his coach. He will be taking home the pride, the bragging rights, and now a distinct feeling of, wait, do I actually have to keep playing this game, or can I just go back to watching now that this tournament is over? Thank God. Congratulations to Boba. And that's with... I don't know what else there is, but congratulations to Boba. Thank you to Google and those enlightened individuals playing StarCraft there. Make sure to check out, not just at Google, but if at your company you have StarCraft players, check out the Corporate Esports Association. No, it's not some dystopian clan you join in Cyberpunk, but instead is a real thing. CEA.GG. Check it out. Find some friends. I know, StarCraft, right? But give it a shot. And if there's anything else, thank you for inviting me to cast. Thank you for organizing, Guillaume and Gatine. Thank you to the players. And thank you to all of you for watching. Like and subscribe. Ring the bell. Ariok, you know what to do. Which is, 1, spend your money. 2, make this video trending. Not necessarily in this order, in that order. Very platinum Zerg. But I will wait for confirmation that I'm not missing anyone or anything. GG to everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Good luck and have fun.